Michael Fabiano here with Sports Illustrated Fantasy, and the NFL Draft is coming up here, guys, April 29th to May 1st, and it's being held in Cleveland for the first time ever. So, who better to talk about this event than Cleveland's favorite son? No, not Albert Bell. It's The Miz, WWE superstar, reality TV star as well, and my pal, Miz. Welcome to Sports Illustrated Fantasy, my man.
I don't think I've ever been compared to Albert Bell. I remember going to Jacob Field and wanting to hit the target. Like everyone's like, Albert Bell's got to hit the target because there's a huge target in left field for him. Man, was that a fun year for baseball? But it's not about baseball right now. It's about football and the draft coming to Cleveland for the first time. This is incredible. It's an amazing city. The fans are ready. I feel like this is the first year, by the way, that we're not really involved in the draft because we've addressed everything we needed to address already. Like usually we want our quarterback or our hub for our defense. We got him. We just need some backups. So now I think everybody's talking about Trevor Lawrence. We know he's going number one. If he's not, it's absolutely stupidity of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Trevor Lawrence is a QB1 in any draft of fantasy football. I look at him as someone that's going to be running the ball, throwing the ball, and I think that he has some targets for himself there in Jacksonville.
The Browns are picking 26th overall in their home city, of course. And typically, as a Browns fan, you're getting a top 5 pick or a top 10 pick now because you made the playoffs, had 11 wins this past season. You're looking at a later round pick. Most of the mocks that I'm seeing, the Browns are taking defensive players. They're pretty much all set on the offensive side of the football. How good can this Browns defense be? Can this be a top 5 defense with the addition of John Johnson, Xavier Clowney, and whoever they end up getting as rookies in this draft?
That's a joke, right? Like I looked at the Los Angeles Rams as like the number one defense, them and the Pittsburgh Steelers. This year, I think people are talking about the Cleveland Browns because now I think we have the defensive player of the year, and I'm calling it right now. I think Garrett is going to win it because now they can't double team him. You got Clowney. You got all these ammo on the defensive line that you're not going to be running the ball anymore. You're not going to be passing the ball. You're going to be getting stuffed. You're going to be getting sacked. You're going to be scared when you go into Cleveland.
Yeah, the Browns defense not only could be very good in real football, but from a fantasy perspective, this could be a top 5 unit without question. Moving on to the offensive side, say that you're Browns GM Andrew Berry. You're looking maybe to add more depth at wide receiver with OBJ coming off a reconstructive knee procedure. What are you looking at on the offensive side, if anything, to improve the weapons that Baker Mayfield already has?
Yeah, I mean, I think you are looking for a wide receiver. I don't think any of the top wide receivers are going to last all the way down to, I believe we're choosing 26, which is incredible to me, by the way, because as a Cleveland Browns fan, we're always like number 1, number 2, number 3 pick. Now people are like, so who are you guys going to get? And to be honest, I don't know because who pays attention at 26? Not many. You know, I think we're going for a cornerback. Which cornerback? I don't know. One of the top 3 that's still left at 26, which is amazing for me to say. I love being in this position. I don't think anyone's talking about too many people besides Trevor Lawrence. Like Trevor Lawrence is the guy. If you got him, he's your catapult. Other quarterbacks, like I'm looking at what Atlanta's doing. We keeping Matty Ice? What's Pittsburgh doing? Because I want to know what they're doing in the AFC North because obviously they don't have Kana anymore. And, Benny Snell, like, is that your starting running back? Like, you need a running back, you need a quarterback. Is Roethlisberger coming back? If he's not, you better wake up and find somebody.
Yeah,
people are going to be trading up. There's going to be so many trades in this drafts.
Yeah, the Steelers could have their pick of the top 3 running backs potentially because running backs have not been going in the first round very much over the last decade or so. You mentioned Trevor Lawrence, who's going to be the number 1 overall pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars. Last season, we saw Justin Herbert come out and put up a top 10 fantasy season among quarterbacks. It was one of the best ever. Only Cam Newton's been better historically. Do you think Lawrence can be as good statistically as Justin Herbert was last season?
Yes, I do. I think he's a different caliber of quarterback. You look at him, the guy has a winning mentality. He runs, he throws bombs. The guy just has it. He's not a Joe Burrow. I think he's better than Joe Burrow. And, people look at Justin Herbert and we're like, wait a second, I thought Joe Burrow was supposed to be this guy. I think Joe Burrow will be this guy, especially if Cincinnati can get some linemen and some protection for the poor guy. I think they've already addressed some, but they still need more. He has some weapons. I think as long as, Trevor Lawrence has a line that's able to protect him, as well as some ammunition out there to throw to, then I think that Trevor Lawrence, the sky's the limit for him. I think
And
everyone's thinking that. I think it's an easy
talking,
pick. I think it's just an easy mock for it.
yeah,
I'm curious to see what quarterback 2, 3, and 4 does and who gets them. Like, who's vying for him? Like, I want to know what Atlanta's doing. I really do, because I think Matty Ice is insane, but maybe Atlanta does it. He hasn't gotten them anywhere in a while.
Yeah, it looks like Zach Wilson will go 2 to the Jets, 3 to the Niners, maybe Mac Jones, Justin Fields, and then we'll find out what Atlanta does. Talk about the return of Ms. and Mrs., which you can find on USA Network, your reality TV show that's been an absolute smash.
Yeah, 11 p.m. USA Network Mondays. It's right after Monday Night Raw, and honestly, it's my favorite thing that I do with my family. Like, every time I watch the show, it's honestly like a photo album, but it's in video form, done by professionals, where I get to sit there and look back and see my daughters grow up and all the funny things that happen to us. Like, I always look at our show like, my hell is your entertainment, because everything bad that happens to me is usually something that you're going to be laughing at. And in this season, we deal with issues of my mom as well as Maurice's mom are starting to date again. And they're in their like 60s. So it's kind of like they haven't dated in like 15 years. They don't even know how to date. And Maurice and I have been out of the field for like 10 years. So we're looking at it like, wait, we don't know swipe left or swipe right stuff. Like, I've heard of it. I've never had to deal with it. I've never had to deal with online dating, how that process goes. So it's pretty insane.
Yeah, well, as someone who has been online dating, consider yourself lucky. We all know, Ms. Annan, you outkicked your coverage with Maurice, so it's all good there. But make sure,
and don't I know it?
So check out Ms. and Mrs. USA Network. Mike, thanks for joining us.
Always.